Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I started this project a couple of days ago and I couldn't get it to work, and then I couldn't get it to work again, and then I couldn't get it to work again. I wanted to do those really pretty, I think they're called 3D flowers. They're done with like alcohol ink, and you like draw the really pretty like flowers and then it goes wow, and it's really pretty. I've tried it a handful of times already and I've just completely failed for one reason or another. I went to Instagram and told you guys that this week's video might be a little bit late and that I failed and blah blah blah, and I was feeling really defeated about it. And I got a lot of messages that were like, we still want to see it even if it's a fail. You still like to see that, you know, like learn all the lessons from your fails. And I was like, you right. So if you guys are interested to see if I can actually freaking pull this off, continue watching. So like I said, I tried this. I tried this a handful of times and it just isn't working. And I mean, I feel like each time I do it, I'm like, okay, that's probably why it's not working. Next time, okay, that's probably why it's not working. Next time, I'm like, okay. So I'm hoping at this point, I have enough fails under my belt that it will work. The most recent time I tried, I let the colored resin, you know, the resin that you mix up to make the petal part, I let that sit for too long because I was like, oh, okay, I want it to sit so that it gets a little bit thicker and it doesn't just kind of like blend in with the clear resin. I wanted it to be defined petals, you know what I'm saying? So I let the colors sit for too long, and this is kind of what they did. I mean, it's kind of cool looking, but it's absolutely not what we're looking for, right? I left the idea because I was really frustrated and defeated, and then you guys reminded me that it's okay that I failed, and that I really do like to show you guys my fails because I know that there's a lot of lessons in them, and also to see somebody that, I mean, I am not an expert, I am not a master at this by any means. I'm just a goofball playing with resin, and that's basically it. So, and I know that when you guys watch my videos, it's nice to know that I also make mistakes. So when you guys make mistakes, like it's just a blanket, you know, it's okay to make mistakes, especially with resin, because like I said, resin just does what it wants to do sometimes. What I want to do is show you guys the mess of how I dribbled these in. It was actually really difficult because the resin by this time was so thick that I just glopped it in there. So in the name of showing you guys my fails so that we can all learn from it, here's that ridiculousness. I know, right? It is what it is. It was really thick is what it was. We're gonna move on from it and we're gonna grow from it. So I'm not gonna let it sit for that long, obviously. So we're gonna try it again. I was pretty close. I think we can do it this time. So yeah, we're gonna get started. I am going to be using the same resin that I was using before, which is the CounterCultureDIY Artist Resin in the thin viscosity. It is the yellowy orange label. And then I'm gonna be using these molds, these really cute flowery molds. These are also from CounterCultureDIY. And I'm gonna do it kind of the same way I did before, which was I wanted to do like a rainbow kind of thing. So I wanted one to be blue and white, one to be pink and white, and one to be yellow and white, and then the fourth one to be rainbowy. I know that's not a realistic looking flower, although, have you ever seen a rainbow rose? They're gorgeous. I know they're dyed, but they're still beautiful. Other than all of those things, we are going to be using alcohol ink, white alcohol ink, and then I think I'm going to be using a little bit of the white dispersion color from CounterCultureDIY. I will show you guys close-ups of these colors and stuff once I pick them and once we get into the project so you guys can see them close up. We're going to get started and it's going to work. 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 okay, hold on. Before you say anything, I know that they're not perfect, but this is the closest I've gotten. So I'm kind of happy with them. The rainbow one looks really funky. I'm pretty pumped about it. The one I'm really excited about, besides the rainbow one, is the pink one. I think that one's gonna look most like a flower. The other two started to kind of drift a little bit. It might be because my table's uneven or something was underneath it that made it like a little bit wonky, but they look pretty cool. I tried to mix up how I was like kind of drawing it. I tried to mix it up. We'll see what they look like tomorrow. This is the closest I've gotten. I don't know why. Sometimes certain projects just like, you know what it is projects where it's a timed thing. Whenever I'm like trying to like pour resin so it's a certain consistency, like a certain thickness, I'm so panicked that I'm doing it wrong, or it's not thick enough, or it's like too thick, or like any project where it's timed, I have to wait for the resin to get a little bit thick or something. I don't know, I can't do them. I'm either too impatient and it's not thick enough, or I've waited way too long and it's way too thick and it's sticky and horrible. So I will see you guys in 24 hours. Okay, you guys, so it's the next day. We're gonna finally pop these out. I'm so excited to pop these out, especially this rainbow one. I really feel like these are the two that are gonna pull through for me. So I'm actually, should I save this one for last? We're gonna save the pink one for last, so I'm gonna start with the yellow one. So I feel like the center looks really good. Like some of my other ones, which I'll get into later, the center like little glittery part kind of just went out too much. So I like that it's just like the little dot center, and I feel like that looks really good. That's probably the best I've ever gotten the center to look. But you know, the ink part doesn't necessarily look like flower petals or anything, but I mean, you know, it's still pretty cool. I think that the yellow is super pretty. Okay, so we'll do the blue one now. The blue one seems to be a lot like the yellow one. Again, when I was like kind of pouring the inks, I did try to do like, you know, different kinds of designs. Not super different, obviously, but I did try to like outline the colors a little bit different. They look pretty similar, and I feel like they, from kind of afar, they kind of look like flowers, right? Okay. Oh, I love the rainbow one. So actually with the rainbow one, I feel like the very outer white part of it looks like it's supposed to look. So you kind of like dribble the color, and then when it cures, it kind of like sinks to the center, and that's what makes like a petal shape. So I feel like the outer white here does look like it did that kind of effect. So I'm really happy about that. The only thing is like the center looks kind of goofy, and like it definitely doesn't look like the most realistic looking flower, but you know, I mean, I guess I wasn't going for that. Okay, and now the pink one. I'm super excited. Yes, I feel like that's the most flowery one out of all of them. Again, the white part on the outside, even the pink, did that thing where it kind of like rounded and then went into the center and made a really cool looking like petal-like effect. I love this one. The more I look at it, the more it like actually does look like a flower. So here's some close-ups of our flower coasters. know why this was so difficult for me to get. Like, I went through trial and error after trial and error after trial and error, and then even again another set of trial and errors. So I feel like with this first one, the ink just went out way too much. The center is really blobby. This one was better, but I felt like the center was still really blobby, and then the colored ink just kind of mixed in with the clear ink, and you couldn't really tell that anything was there, really. And then I made this one, which is just so weird. I couldn't even tell you why. Like, how and why and when, I don't know. It's super bizarre. You know what I actually just realized while I was filming the little like close-up clips is that these look like the freaking SpongeBob flowers that are just like, they're even like the same colors, like those bright neon flowers. Especially this one with the rounded petals. I literally made SpongeBob flower coasters, and I'm pretty happy about it. I mean, figuring that out, I was like, okay, I'm officially in love with them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. It is at Artsymadwoman. I love you guys so freaking much, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. Because we don't want to get this hang. S for save our skins. I guess it kind of looks like a flower. Obviously, I'll show you guys some close-ups so that, you know, you guys can see the full detail of these rather than me just throwing them at my own face. Why would I want to do this? Could it be cool? I'm not sure. I just made like a really weird flower sculpture. Wow. Okay.